What is up, everybody? It's your boy Travis, aka Matsu here, and today I'm bringing you part 3 of my comprehensive, in-depth Set 5 guide for the My Hero Academia collectible card game, Undaunted Raid. I'm very excited to continue reviewing this set. Today we're going to be reviewing Fatgum and the rest of his kit. For those that don't already know, I did do an overall character review, tier lists for Set 5 already. Aside from one character who wasn't on the table at the time of the recording, unfortunately. But yeah, so we're going to talk about Fatgum. Make sure you guys go like, comment, share, subscribe, check out my Patreon, do all that cool stuff, check out PPG. Let's get right into it. So Fatgum is a 529 with the Earth, Fire, and Good symbol. I don't know why I blanked on that. You may build Fatgum 2 character cards as a static, and then enhance, commit, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, build 1 foundation or asset revealed face up, and discard the rest. So very, very good ability. He just gets to build 1 from the top 4 every other turn, and then he has a first form that says, if you are in deadlock, or you have 10 or less health, you search all your game zones for a copy of Fatgum 2 and build it, and then if you searched your deck, you shuffle it. So, obviously, we can't just review that, we have to also look at Fatgum 2, which is the character he builds himself into. So Fatgum 2 is a 6-hander with 10 health, also same symbols. This character cannot be your starting character. When you build this card, it becomes your starting character. Draw 3 cards, and remove all copies of Fatgum 1 in your stage. Okay? So basically, for the first turn you have him, he's a 9-hander. And then enhance twice per turn your turn, discard 1 card, flip and commit 1 rival foundation. That's an extremely strong ability to have on a twice per turn, especially with the amount of free discard fodder that all 3 of these symbols really have because of the sheer amount of card draw they have. And then enhance, remove 2 foundations. This attack gets +1 speed and +3 damage. Now this is very, very interesting because this has synergy with stuff like Precious Lesson, so you can remove 2 committed foundations, y'all get +1/+3, and then I'll respond with Precious Lesson to get 1 of the foundations back. Which is very good. Overall, I think both of these guys are going to see competitive play, so we're going to put them up here. On to the attack cards in their kit. We have, first off, Bad Guy Roundup, which is a 4-diff, 3-check, 3-low for 4 with a 2-high block, Fury, Powerful 2, and Slam. Response, after you play this card, your rival discards 1 momentum. And then enhance, if you have more ready foundations than your rival, draw a card. Now, this card is an easy, will see competitive play. This card does, like, everything. This stops your opponent from having momentum. It draws you a card if you have more ready than they do, which is pretty easy on these symbols, honestly. Yeah, this card's just crazy. It's a cantrip that also, like, stalls your opponent's progress, like, when they try to progress the board state. Like, just very, very good card. On to the next one. We have BMI Buster, which is a 4-diff, 3-eye for 4 with a 1 mid block and a 3-check. Fatgum Breaker 2 and Punch. Response, card pool, flip, remove 1 foundation. After your rival plays an ability on an action card, cancel it. That's already very good, especially considering the amount of actions we not only got in the set, but the amount of actions that we're already seeing play, like The Future Is Now, and Ruthless Mockery, stuff like that. And then enhance, remove 2 momentum, build the top 2 cards of your deck, draw 2 cards. Now, I could not think of a more powerful ability to tie to these 3 symbols in specific, because these 3 symbols are some of the best symbols to get free snap momentum that you could possibly ask for. Like, this is just actually nuts. Like, this card goes +2. Technically, it goes +3 because it builds a card and then draws you 2 additional. So, like, just an extremely strong card. And then obviously in the character it's made for, it's just a Breaker 2 mid block. Like, there's not much else that you could really ask for. This is definitely going to see some amount of competitive play, even if it's just in the sideboard for counters to stuff like The Future Is Now, which is a card that we're going to see a lot in the coming metas. On to the next one, we have Calorie Counter, which is a 6 diff, 3 mid for 6 with a 2 low block and a 3 check. Fury and Punch. Static, if your last attack this turn was blocked, this attack gets -3 difficulty and +2 speed. And then Enhance, if this attack is blocked, gain 2 health and flip 1 Rival Foundation. Now, this card is kind of hard to rate, because when you're getting it for the reduced rate, this card is insane. Like, when you are able to time this well and play it as, like, your second move because your opponent blocked your poke, it's just a 3 diff 5 mid for 6 that says if it's blocked, you gain 2 health and flip a Rival Foundation. This card is extremely strong when you're doing that, but when you don't, it is just a 6 diff with below average stats and an ability that's not like particularly anything crazy, right? So I'm gonna have to say that this might see competitive play. I think it has a good chance to if people can figure out a way to kind of encourage people to block. On to the next card. We have Fat Grapple, which is a 5 diff, 2 mid for 1, 3 high block, and a 3 check. Throw. Enhance, this attack gets +1 damage for each ready foundation in your stage, maximum 7. And then Deadlock Enhance, your next attack gets +5 speed. Okay, now this card has a lot of potential. Let's say in a deck like, for example, the Good Recovery Girl list that we saw top KC, this card just gets really big, super fast, and is something that you don't have to spend resources to give throw because it's already a throw. And then it also has an extremely strong Deadlock Enhance, which is give your next attack 5 speed. Like, that just is enough to make an attack unblockable right there. So, yeah, I'm going to say this is definitely also going to see some amount of competitive play. Even in something like Earth Overhaul, you could play this card, and it becomes a 2 mid for 10 throw, which is just very good. Good card. Onto the foundations. First one, we have the Strength of a Pro, which is a 2 diff, 5 check with a 3 high block. Enhance, flip if you have 3 or fewer ready foundations. This attack gets -3 speed. Okay, that's not bad. And then Enhance, remove if you have 10 or less health, gain 2 health, playable while committed. So, I think this card is just a little bit worse than... It's hard to say, but I think this card is just a little bit worse than the other speed hate that Good got in this set, and even the speed hate that Fire already had and the speed hate that Earth just got in the last set. I don't think this card really measures up to those cards. And then I also don't think that the fact that the two abilities kind of contradict themselves, right? If you want to use the -3 speed, you have to make sure that you can't use the remove if you have 10 or less health to gain 2 health. So it's kind of weird. The card kind of contradicts itself. I think this is going to be like a locals level card if you play it in anything. On the next card, we have Fat Absorption, which is a 3 diff, 4 check unique with a 2 mid block that says response once per attack. Commit 1 foundation before your rival's attack receives a damage bonus from a non-character effect. That bonus gets -2. Minimum 0. Okay. I mean, that's not bad. It's basically commit a foundation for -2 damage, which isn't terrible in certain characters. And then response, remove after your attack receives a speed or damage penalty due to your rival's effect. It gets +3 speed or +3 damage. Okay. I think this card's fine. I don't think that this card is, like, particularly absurd. I'm sure there are going to be decks that definitely want to play this card for the minus damage effect, if nothing else. But also the fact that it has a conditional stat pump attached to it is pretty good. So I think that's going to be good enough to put it in the good chance to see play. And then on to the next one, we have Big Appetite, which is a 2/5 with a 2 low block. Enhance, flip, draw 1 card. Period. Discard 1 card unless your character's hand size is less than your rival's. So this card is very, very good in 5-handers. A lot of 5-handers are going to love this card on these symbols. And then Fatgum Enhance. Remove the top card of your deck. If the removed card was a foundation, this attack gets +1 speed. Also, it's important to point out that on the first effect, It does not say your printed hand size. So meaning, if you were to play something like Detroit Smash and reduce your character's hand size, it would look at your character's current hand size and not your printed hand size. So that's important to know. Overall, I think this card's great. This is going to see play in a lot of decks, a lot of 5-handers, even... I'm sure there's probably an All Might 3 build that could play this with, like, Detroit Smash and, you know, intentionally reduce his hand size, and then I'll flip it to draw an extra card. And then, obviously, in Fatgum, this card is the nuts. Remove the top card of your deck, if it's a Foundation, +1 speed just for free. Like, that's just very, very good. So this is definitely going to see meta play at some point for sure. I could easily see this being in the top a deck that top 16s in RLE. On to the next one, we have Surprise Interception, which is a 1/5 with a 1 mid block. Response, commit 1 Foundation. After you block with this card, the blocked attack cannot be added to your rival's momentum this turn. So this card is like pseudo momentum hate, but you don't really want to build it because it doesn't really have card text. It's almost exclusively to be blocking with. And there are some game states where just holding this card to block is fine, but seeing this card early is going to be rough. It's not really something that you want to build. You'd rather just hold it. But it is decent enough momentum hate. And it's also pretty good against, for example, like Zero Gravity Lift. Let's say your opponent uses their Zero Gravity Lift to say their thing moves to momentum after it resolves. You block with Surprise Interception and you respond during the block step before it even resolves to say, hey, that can't move to momentum. So now your opponent just wasted their Zero Gravity Lift and that card is just stuck in their card pool. So I think this is a pretty good counter to certain decks that are trying to do specific things. So I'm going to say that this has a good chance to see play at the very least in the sideboard slot, right? It's decent momentum hate, and then it has niche interactions where it just completely shuts down certain decks and characters. Anyways, if I had to give Fatgum's kit an overall out of 10, I would probably give it around a 6. I think he's got a lot of really good cards, but a lot of them are like very specifically better or just good in him. His kit's very how do I say this? It's not very amazing for other characters. There are a few cards that stand out among the cards that are good for other characters. For like example, Bad Guy Roundup's just good in everybody. BMI Buster's probably good in everybody, and so is Big Appetite. And then like Fat Grapple has a chance to see play in everybody. But yeah. Anyways, thanks everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. Yet again, make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe. Go check out my Patreon, do all that cool stuff. I think I'm going to start streaming live on Twitch sometime here in the future. So make sure you guys look out for that. If I had to pick a schedule, I'm probably going to be doing between like 1 and 5 during the day. Not in the morning, obviously. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you guys have a wonderful day. This has been Travis, signing out.
What is up, Matsu Nation? Thank you for watching till the end of the video. If you enjoyed, like, comment, and subscribe. And check out all my socials and my Patreon. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and sayonara.